What they do, Jones Crew, it's your girl Crystal, and I'm back at you again with another lit video. You already know the vibes. Make sure you hit that like button, comment down below, subscribe to my channel as well, hit the little bell so you never miss a video, guys. So today we're going to jump right on into it. We do have an arrest in the murder of Takeoff. We do have a suspect in custody, guys. We do have an arrest here. Okay, so we're gonna dive right on into the situation. I do have the footage from the news conference, as well as I did a little research on your boy. Okay, so we do have some information in regards to who this young man is. He goes by the name of Patrick Clark, and again, he has been arrested for the murder of Takeoff, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and dig into his history, see what we can find on him. But first, we're gonna go ahead and get into the news conference. They did go live to make a statement and update everyone that they had a suspect in custody for the murder of Takeoff, alongside with Mr. Cameron Joshua Isaiah, aka Yellow Hoodie. And as they stated, they are not charging Lil Cam for the murder of Takeoff. He has been charged for felon in possession of a weapon, so unlawfully carrying a weapon. Okay, that's what Lil Cam is being charged with. So I find it just a little bit suspicious, guys, especially since I'm going to expose the past and background of this young man right here. And I'm going to tell you guys all about my theory and what I think. So make sure you hit that like button.
Here with Mayor, and Mayor, thank you for the support. We're here to announce an arrest, but before I do that, I always start with that human element. I spoke to Takeoff's mother early this morning, and my prayers, and I ask that all our prayers continue to go out to her and his entire family, his close friends, the city of Atlanta, and all of Takeoff's fans. What a great individual he was. We have a special relationship with the city of Atlanta. I want to make sure that stays intact. I want to thank them, the family, and everybody else for patience, allowing us to work through the evidence and the facts, which is most important. I also want to thank our investigators. Here today, Sergeant Michael Barrow, Lieutenant Barnes, Investigator Ross Watson, and also from the DA's office, Ruben Perez and Matt Gilliam, who's worked very hard on this case. All of our individuals, our divisions, our homicide division, thank you. People don't know the hard work that they do behind the scenes, the number of hours that they're away from their family members. So also the gang division, our federal partners, FBI, state partner DPS, and ATF. Everybody took a role in this investigation. We stood here a little bit, I think a month ago, maybe a day or two, and made a promise that we would get the individuals or the individual that's responsible for the murder of Takeoff in custody. So yesterday evening, we arrested Patrick Xavier Brown, 33 years old. He was charged with the murder of Takeoff. Brown was arrested again yesterday evening in the 14700 block of Sterling Green Boulevard. It's located on the east side of Texas. I'm sorry, of Houston. Again, Cameron Joshua, 22 years old, was arrested on November the 22nd for felon in possession of a weapon. I'm going to turn it over to the mayor right now, and after that, we're going to bring up the investigators and then the district attorney's office, and then Commander Garcia will translate for us in Spanish. Thank you.
Your entire team and all of your law enforcement partners that have been working on this case. Let me thank the prosecutors from the DA's office. I really appreciate their presence and their work. And I've certainly realized that the work even continues in this case. I do want to point out the fact that over the last month, I've had several conversations with the mayor of Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens, kind of keeping him advised of this investigation and what was taking place, and talked with him as late as yesterday evening to apprise him of what would be taking place today. Look, it was about a month ago when we stood here as a team to discuss the shooting death of Kirshner Kyrie Ball. Public knew him as Takeoff. We all knew him as Takeoff, a talented entertainer and part of the Atlanta-based group, the Migos. I do also want to acknowledge Councilmember Edward Pollard, who is with us this afternoon. But in more than an entertainer, he was a son, a brother, cousin, and a friend, and a mentor to those in the music industry. At that time, we also asked witnesses to help police identify Takeoff's killer and prevent more violence from happening in retaliation. I am glad that a suspect has been arrested and charged with Takeoff's death. It certainly, I think, will bring some comfort to the family, though it does not bring Takeoff back. This is a significant step towards seeking justice, and I hope it also brings additional comfort to all of those who love Takeoff. Over the past few weeks, Chief Fenn and I were asked often about the status of the investigation. The chief kept me informed about the information that had been received, the evidence that has been collected, including the videos, the video that was being reviewed. I want to express my regrets and disappointment that this was a case of another young man taking the life of another young man for no reason. The gun violence everywhere, not just in the city of Houston, has to stop. People are dying for little or no reason, and people are reaching for a deadly firearm to settle sometimes minor disagreements. But pulling a firearm can have deadly consequences that you cannot undo. And so I'm glad that arrest has taken place, that we do have someone in custody. It is unfortunate. It really is unfortunate because it does not bring Takeoff back. But to Chief Fenner, to you, to your command staff, to the investigators, to the DA's office, to all the partners who helped, to those who provided tips, information, let me thank you, and then look forward to this investigation and prosecution continuing on this matter. Thank you, Chief.
Let me step up and make a quick correction on the name. I had a misprint on my notes. It's Patrick Xavier Clark, 33 years old, on the rest of the suspect. Okay? Come on, Sarge.
Good afternoon. With the investigation, the Houston Forensic Science Center, our lab rats, so to speak, the people that do our forensic analysis, they work behind the scenes a lot.
All right, guys, so that's what they had to say about the arrest of the suspect in Takeoff's murder. He goes by the name of Patrick Xavier Clark. And like I said, I did my research on this young man. He is actually a DJ that goes by the name of DJ Pat 713. He lives in Houston. He is straight out of Houston, Texas. Okay, so which means we want to know, was he Mob Tie affiliated, right? Now, doing my research, of course, this is a entire month after Takeoff has been murdered. So clearly he had time to delete things if he needed to, delete whatever he needed to delete off his social media. Going on his page, I didn't find anything at all in relations to mob ties, which brought me to the conclusion that just remembering the past history of J. Prince Sr. setting up another individual that was an owner of a record label that was up and coming. Remember, he set him up in the dice game back in the 90s. So my theory is that maybe they just set this young man up. This young man, doing my research, I found out he's actually a business owner. He owns a strip club in Houston, Texas. We're going to get into his information. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I found about him. But just to give you a little rundown, he is a business owner. He tends to his business. He's always at his business. So it just doesn't make any sense at all. Why would he be at a dice game, an after-hour party with mob ties? And meanwhile, he's a businessman. So I'm wondering, did they set this young man up as well, as we've seen them do before, to take the fall for the murder? Meanwhile, they're only charging Lil Cam with possession of a weapon. Just something to think about, guys. Now, we're going to get into some more footage real quick, and then I'll be back. But first, make sure you hit that like button, guys, on your way in, on your way out. Whenever you want to hit that like button, just make sure you hit that like button, guys. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let's get this conversation flowing. What do you guys think? Do you think this guy is with mob ties and he's one of their fall guys? Or do you think this young man was actually set up by J Prince Sr., Lil Cam, the entire mob tie family, like we've seen them do in the past? Let me know your thoughts, guys. Make sure you subscribe as well, and let's get right into it.
Police have made an arrest. They've arrested 33-year-old Patrick Xavier Clark for the murder of rapper Takeoff, who was part of the rap trio Migos. Clark was arrested last night on the east side.
Yeah, and police officials saying it wasn't a police tip, but surveillance and shooting reconstruction. Good old-fashioned police work that helped lead them to Clark. We will have much more on this story on Kate.
Okay, so they're saying good old-fashioned police work, yet it doesn't make any sense that if he was arrested last night, what gun do they have in possession to do ballistic tests on? It just doesn't make any sense, guys. If he was just arrested yesterday, how can they have done what evidence do they have that makes them charge him for the murder? Is it the surveillance footage? We need to see the footage, because at this point I'm not going to believe anyone did it until I see it with my own two eyes, just like I seen Lil Cam on Takeoff right there holding him with the pistol in his hand. Now we're going to get into an interview with DJ Pat. This is the alleged murder. Here it is.
Follow the chick. Where did that come from? You know, a lot of people, I feel like they don't know, but you done put some groundwork in around this motherfucking city too, aside from DJing, just as far as being a well-versed influencer with, you know, conversing, having people on your platform that goddamn have a name for themselves as well as having one for your own self. And, you know, you one of the younger strip club owners too. We're going to get into that later. So let's talk about the Follow the Check. Where did that start?
DJing, like when I first started strip club DJing, they was giving me only the nights that nobody else wanted, or the nights that wasn't popping. So like say back in the day, if a girl worked at Dreams, she didn't work at what other club? She didn't work at Fetish, or she didn't work at High Rollers. She worked at Dreams. Like she was hired at that club. Like girls had to work at that club, and that was it. They didn't get to go, okay, well, when the night was popping, if a Wednesday night was popping, I'm gonna go over here, and then I'm gonna go back to my home club. It wasn't like that. Like if a dancer worked at one club, that's the only club you was gonna catch her at. She didn't get hired at 4 or 5 different clubs. But I was hired at, you know, at a spot, but I got the bullshit night. So I had to make something out of the bullshit night. So what I used to do was go to the clubs that was popping and get the girls to come. Like I probably, you know, started that type of vibe where the girls could be able to go from here to there. And that's where it came from. Like shit, bitch, like follow the chick. Like, yeah, money over here tonight. You need to come over here. And, you know, I had friends that was spending money. And, you know, I had the dancers that was, you know, maybe I had a few dancers that came from Dreams. A few dancers came from, at the time, High Rollers was open. We had a place on the east side called High 10. It was a place on the north side called Crazy Horse. And shit, it just all, you know, I was working 7 days a week, but I was at a different venue, a different club every day. So that's where that Follow the Chick come from.
Okay, so talk as being like an up and coming DJ in that time. You know, Houston, we famous for our nightlife. How do you get into the mix of becoming a strip club DJ? And do you feel like that's where, you know, like you said, you're doing parties and things before, but do you feel like the strip club is what kind of like solidifies you into what you were trying to do within the culture?
It made me money. It made the most money at the time. Like I wanted to have the image of the like at that time, regular DJs probably was the most highest paid regular DJ was $500 to $700 a night. That was the top. Like Mr. Rogers and High C and Kiati, who else was popping at the time? Like them guys was the biggest DJs we had in the city as far as in our market. They was only getting $700 to $500, but I was a young nobody DJ, and I could make me $1,000 a night. So without a name, like without a brand, without you know who I am today, this was back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it just made more money than just DJing for 4 hours, and you know what I'm saying. But it the larger clubs, but I see he started off in the strip clubs also, but the the money to at that time was for me was in the strip club, but I always wanted the image of like rocking thousands of people, you know what I'm saying? But that never was my angle at the time. I just was going for the paper.
Okay, so like I said, I did my research, so I found him on Twitter. Here's his Twitter page right here. Going down, I wanted to scroll down to see what he's about, what his vibe is, what his energy is, and basically all he posts about is his business, which is a strip club that he owns in Houston, Texas. It's called Flame. It is a strip club, a gentleman's club. Okay, so this is his page right here. You can see he was just active. He was just posting on his page. Okay, and unlike Lil Cam, he wasn't posting anything crazy, talking about hating the Migos, talking about Quavo, hating Quavo, talking about getting money and being grimy and being a shooter, being Mob Tie affiliated. I didn't see any of that on his page at all whatsoever. You can see he's posting 4 days ago. Now, I did scroll all the way down. I wanted to go ahead and see what he was posting the night Takeoff was killed. So I wanted to see what exactly was going on with him the night of the murder. Okay, so you can also see him making references to God. It seems, judging by these posts and these tweets, that he is a religious man. He is talking about God. Now, that I did not see on Lil Cam's page. I didn't see him talking about God at all or anything of the such. So I mean, just a little something to think about as well. Now, when I did get to the post from him on Halloween night, it was him promoting his club, telling everyone to meet him out at the club. So guys, judging from this post, I think that he wasn't even at the bowling alley. He was at his club because he's promoting his business and he's always there at the club. So by him telling people to meet him out there, it's that he was not anywhere else but his club. So it's safe to assume that he wasn't even at the bowling alley that night. I didn't see any footage of him being out there at all in any of the footage that was circulating online, on the internet, anywhere. I didn't see anyone identify him, point him out, look him up, as we seen everyone scrutinized in the video. Everyone was taken apart piece by piece and found all their Instagrams. We found all their Twitter pages. We found everything there was to find out about everyone who was attended there at the party where Takeoff died. Now, is it funny that we didn't see this guy at all in any of the footage or anything? Now, here's the post he made on Halloween night saying to meet him at the club. He's referring to his club he owns in Houston, Texas, called Flame. So let me know, how can he be at his club and at the bowling alley shooting Takeoff at the same time? It just doesn't make any sense, guys. How did they get the gun to run ballistic tests in just a couple of hours? If he was arrested last night, how could they have done ballistic testing so soon? And they did not say that they found him with a weapon. Like when Lil Cam was arrested, they clearly stated that they found Lil Cam with a weapon. Now, they did not say that they found Mr. Patrick Clark with a weapon when they arrested him. They never mentioned anything of a weapon. So that's going to lead me to believe that they're going off of the footage, which they need to release as soon as possible because the public wants to know. So next, I went on to Harris County Clerk District website where I did a jail search, an inmate search on Mr. Patrick Clark, and you can see he is pulled up right there. I just wanted to see it with my own two eyes, guys, to see that they actually had this man in custody. So I looked him up, and there you see it right there. He is charged with murder. He was arrested on December 1st, which was yesterday, and he does have a court date coming up on December 6th, which is Monday, this Monday coming up, I believe, or Tuesday. So guys, I'm definitely going to keep you posted with this entire situation. We're going to dive on into it, and I'm sure by my next video, I'll have even more proof for you and even more evidence as well in regards to Mr. Patrick Clark. We're going to find out, was he there? We want footage. We want to see him in one of the still shots, in one of the screenshots, in some of the footage slowed down, something. We want to identify that he was actually and factually there at the bowling alley, and he was not at his club like he posted on Twitter. See, this is not like back in the day, back in the 90s, where Jay Prince Sr. used to have his dice games and people would end up killed, and then it would get pinned on someone else that was not even at the location. We didn't have social media back then, but we do now. And as we can see, Mr. Patrick Clark clearly posted on his Twitter that he was at his club on Halloween night, which is the night that Takeoff was murdered. So guys, something is fishy here. Is he a fall guy for mob ties? Are they setting him up? We'll see. Only time will tell. Like I said, I'm sure by the next video, I'll have a lot more information for you guys in regards to whether or not Patrick Clark was in fact at the bowling alley or at his club, Club Flame in Houston, Texas. We'll see on the next video. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this situation, on what I have presented to you. And make sure you subscribe as well. Make sure you hit the little bell so you never miss a video, because I'm covering this entire situation in detail, guys. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.